Hey guys, this is Comic Uno and Comic Frontline, and today I'm doing Comic Uno episode 59. And this is a show where I review all the comics I read this week in one show. This week I have 16 comics, so it's a good amount. So I'll go worst pick of the week to best pick of the week. So let's start to number 16, and that is Grayson, issue 2. Grayson issue 1 was in the same place last time it came out also. And I'm going to say this week there really wasn't that many bad comics. This wasn't a horrible comic at all. I mean, I didn't love it, but it wasn't a horrible comic. With Grayson, I think it has a lot of potential. First of all, it's Dick Grayson. I think he's an awesome hero. And with this issue, I saw the potential. There's this moment where the head of Spiral is saying, well, we need to figure out these secure identities. We found out Flash is Barry Allen. Why not talk about those stories? I think that's why Dick Grayson's there, is to figure out what this guy's doing, that he's trying to figure out the secret identities of heroes. So why is Dick Grayson not figuring out, oh, how the hell did he find out that Flash was Barry Allen? Why wasn't that the story, instead of this cannibal trying to eat Dick Grayson and Helena being this teacher for these young girls who are training to be assassins? Like, whoa. Why don't you tell the real story here? And I think that's what really upset me the most, that there's so much potential here, but I was kind of bored of the story they're actually telling. But since I'm a Dick Grayson fan, I'm going to stick with this series for a couple more issues, see where it goes, but I don't know. I'm a little worried about it. So I'm going to give this 2.5 stars. I didn't love it. Alright, so now we're up to number 15, which is Green Arrow, issue 34. Again, there wasn't any horrible books this week, so that's why this is kind of lower than you might expect. I liked the issue, but this is Lemire's last issue, and there wasn't anything tremendous that happened here. Pretty predictable. We get to see that Green Arrow, Diggle, they team up, defeat all the villains, and by the end, happily ever after, they're all working together. Miko's going to be an apprentice, and that's it. It's a really predictable predictable issue, and I think it's a happy ending, but it's also a really dark series. I'm just really looking forward to the Arrow writers taking it over, because we know Felicity's going to be there. I'm still not a big fan of those other two characters in here that's part of Oliver and Company here. But yeah, it's an okay issue. It wasn't bad, but again, it was just really predictable. So I'm gonna give this issue 3 stars, and it was okay. Now let's start with number 14, which is Rocket Raccoon, issue 2. Another story that was, again, not bad. A lot of these issues, I'm telling you, they're not bad issues. It's just what came out of the week, it's what I disliked the most. With Rocket Raccoon, it was a fun story. I liked it. Rocket, he's in jail. He grows Groot again, and he's running away from his ex-girlfriends and trying to figure out who this other species is. He found out that someone in his species, he's not the only one in his species anymore, so there's someone else out there. He's trying to figure out who this person is. But there's a lot of useless things here. Like, why did Rocket Raccoon have to go to jail? He grew Groot, which he could have grew Groot anywhere, and he runs away. It felt kind of miscellaneous there. So yeah, I think the main story is what's not hooking me here. It's a fun book. It's good artwork. Can't lie about that. But there's so many books out there. I gotta drop Rocket Raccoon. It's just that I haven't, enough Rocket Raccoon. I have him in Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a fun book. If I wasn't getting as many books, it'd still be on my pull list. But I'm getting a lot of books, so I'm gonna drop Rocket Raccoon because I'm not loving it as much as I possibly could. So I'm going to give it 3 stars. I don't really know what direction it's going, but a lot of you, if you're a big Rocket Raccoon fan, you might have a lot of fun with this book. So I'm going to give that 3 stars. Alright, so number 13. So yes, Rocket Raccoon got 3 stars. Number 13 is a digital book, which is Goddess Inc., issue 1. And I gotta say, I was really looking forward to Goddess Inc. Zenoscope's book, actually, Tales of Terror was my pick of the week last week, and I was looking forward to Goddess Inc. even more than Tales of Terror. But with Goddess Inc., I think you have to have some previous knowledge of Zenoscope, because it seemed like what the story's about is all these gods living as normal people. They all know each other, and Venus, she wants to be all-powerful, so there's this time where she wants to get a lot of the gods on her side, that way she could be the most powerful, even more than another god that's already powerful. And that's pretty much the story, but it seemed like they all had their own past, so you had to read other Godstorm type books to understand what was going on. I didn't seem as new reader friendly. Not saying this is a bad book. I actually really did enjoy this. I'm going to get the next issue because I think the characters are interesting, how they're so different in their point of lives. Like, one is a cop, the other is like this boss, another is a fashion industry person. So I think that's really interesting. They're all different points of their lives, but they all know they're gods. So I think that's a cool point. Something different I haven't really seen in comics. But it's a very over-sexualized book. Usually I wouldn't say that about Zenoscope, even though sometimes it is with their covers and people believe it is. But usually the interior is not too over-sexualized. But this book was really over-sexualized. And I think, again, maybe people that have been reading this God stuff will enjoy it more, but as a new reader, I couldn't catch on to some of the characters. So I'm going to give this 3.5 stars. I like the issue. I'm going to get the second issue, but I didn't love the issue as much as I wanted to. Alright, so now we're up to number 12, which is Detective Comics, issue 34. Detective Comics has been okay. You know, I love Buccellato and Manapul together. I love their Flash run. But I think they need a footing with Detective Comics. I've been even saying that on my pull list articles, that they need to find a footing with this character and try to tell a story that's through their point of view. And Icarus got boring. It was like, what? 4-part story, maybe more than that, had an annual. It's just not going to be a 2-part story. I think Elena's character is interesting. She was cool, but the rest is like, oh, like I like that different characters are here. I'm trying to think of that Harvey was here. I really like that Harvey was here. That was a cool addition. He's like the Commissioner Gordon for this book. I like that. But the main story about this drug Icarus, it didn't really pull through so much. But I love the artwork for Francis Manapul. I think that's what really pulled this issue more to be towards the top of the countdown this week. So artwork's really good. Story's a little shaky, but I'm still going to stick with Detective Comics, see where Manapul and Buccellato goes with the book, because I trust them as a creative team. I think they just have to find their own story. Maybe Icarus was kind of just an off story arc. So I'm going to give that 3.5 stars. Number 11, surprisingly, Future's End. Yes, finally, not in that worst pick zone. It's above 3 stars. I want to give a round of applause to Future's End. I enjoyed Future's End this week, and there's still problems with Future's End. I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, Future's End, pick of the week. No, but there's actually some really interesting story here. Of course, they're spreading their stories a little bit too thin. Like, Tim Drake had 1 page in this issue. And there's some, I'm going to go through the boring stuff. Yeah, I'm still not like a Batman Beyond story. Grifter is getting a little boring. But I really liked Miko and Berta's story. I think that's interesting to see Miko as an adult and her be so much like Green Arrow. I like that, and her be able to defeat Deathstroke. And that little girl was working with Deathstroke. I like that. And I think what made the issue for me was this ending as Earth 2 fan. You get to see that Lois finds out that she becomes Red Tornado in another reality, and she finds out what this green cube's all about, and she's like, holy shit, what was that? And that's how it ends. So I think the cliffhanger was great for this issue. Art's been pretty consistent, like the artwork. So there's more that I liked here than I disliked. So that's pretty good for Future's End. Again, usually it's always like below 3 stars. But I had a really lot of potential here, and I really liked it. I love the whole Red Tornado twist. What the hell is Lois going to think about it? I could have used a little bit more Tim Drake, but Miko's a really cool addition to the series. I'm glad that they're integrating more of the Earth 2 stuff. So 3.5. Happy to give it a 3.5. I liked it. Hopefully it'll stay this way in this zone or even higher. I would love to love Future's End, but you know, we'll see. Let's take it a step at a time. Alright, number 10 is Superior Foes of Spiderman, issue 14. I like this issue, but I am going to say at the same time, I know it's a little higher on the list, because it's not a bad issue, but I'm kind of getting bored with Superior Foes. It's weird. Again, this wasn't a bad issue. It's, we get to see Black Spider. We learn a little bit more about his past. You know, that's pretty cool about the Superior Foes. We get to learn a little bit about these C-list villains. And then while working together, Beetle's in a relationship with I think it's Overdrive. Did I say Black Spider, I'm sorry, Overdrive. She goes in a relationship with him. We learn a little more about him. Boomerang's not the main focus of this issue. It's okay. Then Shocker's like, well, I'm going to be the boss of everything now. And that's how the issue ends, is that Shocker's just like, I have Silvio's head. Let me be the boss. Again, it's not a bad issue. I like the artwork a lot, but I'm kind of getting bored with it. I feel like the story is going at a snail's pace, and every single time I read Superior Foes, it's toward the end of my pile. I'm not so excited to read it, so I think I am going to drop Superior Foes for a little while. There's that big delay also. I don't know, I just feel like it's not worth it anymore. Don't get me wrong, it's still a good series, but again, since I have so much stuff on my pull list and all these new books are coming out, I think I am going to drop Superior Foes. It's been a fun ride, but it's just, it was good for what it was. I think, honestly, it would have been better if they ended it soon, because it just doesn't seem like they're have much momentum for the series, especially story arc-wise. Character-wise, they have some cool interactions, and art-wise is great, but I think I am going to drop this one. Again, it wasn't even a bad issue. It's just same thing. So I'm going to give that 3.5. Number 9 is She-Hulk, issue 7. Finally, I'm able to get She-Hulk again, because they had this replacement artist who's on Ultimate FF, and I hate his art. It's all over the place. It's not good. For my opinion, it's not good art. And finally get the old artist. I don't love this art for She-Hulk, but I think, you grow used to it. And the story is really pretty good. It's with She-Hulk and Patty. They try to help this guy who's making something like Pym particles. Ant-Man helps out, and it's a fun adventure story. I liked it. We get to see a good personality with She-Hulk, and love the She-Hulk Patty friendship. I think it really shines in this issue. It's cool to see Hank Pym, because you don't get to see Hank Pym that often in the Marvel Universe. You see him here and there. So it's a fun story. Glad that we got to see the old artist again. It's not perfect art, but I liked it. And looking forward to reading more She-Hulk. And we get to see the older Captain America now, so we're going to see that come into play for She-Hulk. So I'm going to give it 3.5 stars. I like the issue, and I'm glad I could stick with She-Hulk. Again, this is the best She-Hulk series I've ever read. No, but it's interesting to follow some of Jen Walters' story. Alright, so now we're up to number 8, which is Legendary StarLord, issue 2. A lot higher than Rocket Raccoon this week. I thought this was a really solid issue. I liked it. It's StarLord teaming up with his sister and them bonding a little throughout the whole issue. And we learned that StarLord has to go fight Thanos. It's connecting to the movie a little bit. But I liked it. The artwork is pretty much the same as Nova, the person who did Nova. Really liked this art style. And again, it was a fun story. I liked StarLord teaming up with his sister. Even though they're kind of complete opposites, they learn to bond. And I hope to see this brotherhood and sisterhood shine a little bit more as the series goes on, depending if she's going to be a main character or not, or we'll see in Guardians or something. I don't know. But yeah, art was really good. I liked it. Solid story. I'm going to give it 4 stars. I liked it. I'm going to be keeping with StarLord and probably drop Rocket Raccoon instead. So now we're up to number 7, I think. Right? Yes, we are up to number 7, which is Batman Eternal, issue 18, not under 3 stars. Yes, finally a good Batman Eternal issue. I'm excited. I'm pumped. Hopefully it stays this way. I have a feeling it's not going to, but hopefully it does. But I really like this issue. It's everything I really want Batman Eternal to be for a solid issue. I really enjoy the Batgirl story. We get to see that Batgirl, Red Hood, and Batwoman team up, and I think they teamed up really well. And I love what Red Hood had to say about Batgirl, saying that she can protect herself, and us Robins are always jealous of Batgirl. And by the end, Batgirl is being controlled by the enemy that they're trying to get, and she goes against Red Hood and Batwoman. So, really excited to see how that plays out. I think that's going to be a really fun arc. And also, we get to see Lieutenant Bard and Batman team up, and even though that doesn't really have to do with the mobsters or, Commissioner Gordon, it kind of does have to do with Commissioner Gordon, because we have to see, do we trust the Lieutenant? Even as an audience, we don't know if we should trust Lieutenant or not, and why is he being so nice? What is he going to do for Gotham? Is he going to be the next Commissioner Gordon? So yeah, I like this issue a lot. I thought it was solid. Art's a little dark, but I can live with it. It's definitely better than art we've been getting with people closing their eyes all the time. But yeah, really solid issue. We get to see Killer Croc and Batman team up. It's a fun issue. If you actually want to see Batman and Batman Eternal and the Bat family in this book, it's here. This is what Batman Eternal should be, and I really liked it. I actually had to do something with Batman Eternal. Solid issue. I'm going to give it 4 stars. Alright, I think now we're up to number 6, right? Yeah, we're up to number 6, which is Kick-Ass 3, issue 8. I think we're up to number 6. Let me just make sure. I feel like maybe we're up to number 7. Hold on. Yes, we are up to number 6. We are. But yeah, it's Kick-Ass 3, issue 8. I kind of wish this was higher, but I'm going to say this was a cute issue. It's weird to say that about Kick-Ass. You would think you'd be like, oh my god, it was epic. It's the last issue ever. It was cute. You know, we get to see that Dave, he decides to quit being Kick-Ass. He does the last thing he has to do. We see that Hit Girl's still a hero. She finds a new Kick-Ass, and she's still being a hero in the shadows. Dave becomes a police officer, and they all live happily ever after. And, you know, if the series wants to continue, they could. But they don't have to. And that's the kind of cool thing about this issue, but nothing epic happens. I don't think it was too bloody. You know, it was action-packed, but, you know, it's a solid issue. I can't say it was like, oh my god, Kick-Ass ended on this big thing. It was great. It was a solid issue. I liked it. It was cute. It's cool. I liked it. I'm going to give it 4 stars. It was a cool ending. I don't think it was predictable, but, it, you know, it was a little predictable at the same time. Wish something else epic could have happened with it, but it's cool to see that the series is continuing and how much Millar's world is really connected with all their series. Jupiter Legacy, Super Crooks, all these books. And I loved in the end where Mark Millar wrote his letter and said, I can't believe it's been 8 years, I think it's been. It's been 8 years, and they've only been written like 32 issues. And it's like, that's a shame. Because he always delays his book a lot. This was delayed a lot. And that's also another reason, I guess, it wasn't as epic. Because you forget things, too. I forgot about the corrupted cops because it's been such a long time since I've read Kick-Ass 3. But solid. I'm going to give it 4 stars. So number 5 we're up to now. Yes. Number 5 is Tiny Titans Return to the Treehouse, issue 3. A fun issue. Why is this above Kick-Ass 3? Because this was fun. I had such a good time with it. I've been starting to get into Shazam for the last couple of years since the New 52. Been starting to get into the characters. And I love that Robin wants to become Shazam and try to replace their treehouse. And by the end, he's like, oh, the wizard's like, sure, I'll replace your treehouse. And since he lives on a mountain, he just gives a rock. And the only person that's happy is Tara. I just thought it was a really fun issue. The art's great. If you just want to have a blast and something you can definitely read with your kids, read Tiny Titans. It's just a really fun issue that will make you laugh, probably more than Harley Quinn. Give it a try if you want to have a good laugh and just a good time with great references. So, Tiny Titans issue 3 was my number 5 pick with 4 stars. Really enjoyed it. Alright, now we're up to number 4. Superior Spider-Man issue 32. Solid issue. I wish I could give this a little higher because I really loved the issue towards the end. But the beginning was a little shaky. At first, we get to see Superior Spider-Man. He goes to the 2009 world. He still looks like Peter Parker, which is a little weird. I don't know how he still has that image of him. If, you know, Peter Parker is in his body. I don't know the science of that. But, yeah, I like that by the end, he is trying to figure out how to get back to his reality, and he goes to all these other realities, and he finds out about this guy killing all these Spider-Men for some reason, which I wish they explained a little bit more, that I will say. They should have explained in this issue more about this guy trying to kill all the Spider-Men, but he's trying to make a team to try to kill this guy. And he's the guy who's gonna be starting Spider-Verse. And it was just really epic to see all these Spider-Men come together and Superior be the one to rally them all up. And then have Superior create his own Animarie. I think it was a quarter of the book. The quarter of the book was and then the rest of it was great. I loved it. Art was really good. And again, it just got me super excited for Spider-Verse. And I was like, how about if May was here? What would she react to? So I'm really excited to see May in Spider-Verse, obviously, and just all these other heroes and how that all combines. So, really enjoyed it. I give it 4 stars. Again, it was a little shaky towards the beginning, but it was a really good issue that makes me look forward to Spider-Verse. Top 3. Now, this is a hard one this week. Top 3 was very hard because all 3 of these books are really great. My number 3 was Earth 2, issue 26, a really good issue because it finally ends the Dark Side story that's been going on for a really long time, but it's still enjoyable because what I love about Tom Taylor, he's a character writer. He truly is, and characters I didn't really care about in Earth 2, or characters I didn't know existed in Earth 2, they come together and with Tom Taylor's writing and make me care. And by the end of this issue, we get to see them all stand together and say, oh, what now what? We're a team. And seeing that, you know, unless you care about the characters, you feel proud. And I felt proud. I was like, yeah, can't wait to see this team actually become a team and fight other threats. And I think the most epic part was, of course, Lois Lane. She's the MVP of this series. I love her in this series. But I like how Lois, well, first Val and Superman fighting each other was great. But I love how Lois believes that Darkseid is not Clark. And she knows it. And she just used her tornado powers and makes Darkseid become dust by the end. And I thought that was just so epic because that just shows how strong Lois's character is. And I really love her character in Earth 2 here. I think she's such a strong character. She has the traits that we all love about Lois, but also as Red Tornado now. So I think they did a great job with that. And Tom Taylor does a great job with that. And it's just epic. The art's great. It was an epic ending. Some great battles here to the end. And I give 4.5 stars. Really loved Earth 2 this week, and I've been loving this series. And can't wait to see where the weekly goes. Hopefully it's not like the other weeklies. And can't wait to see where Future's End goes with the connection of Earth 2. And Lois knowing that she becomes Red Tornado in another dimension. Wouldn't it be cool to see this Lois and that Lois meet each other? Hell yeah. Number 2. Invincible, issue 113. It was so hard to pick between these two books. Of course, you're going to find out one very soon. But very hard because I love both of these books for different reasons. And Invincible has been hitting it out of the ballpark for a good amount of issues here. And I know a lot of people didn't like the whole rape controversy, but I think it plays really well in this issue because, you know, we got the rape controversy just for shock value, and I think that would have been totally wrong. But as someone that really likes character story, they do it really well here, where Invincible, when Adam Eve is just trying to hug Invincible that they had a child, he, you know, goes away. When he sees the woman that actually did this to him, he shakes. I just think they did a great job with that. And I'm looking forward to see where Adam Eve's and Invincible's relationship goes from here. And when will Invincible tell Adam Eve? And I like that Adam Eve, I guess, had time to think. And she says, hey, be invincible, be a hero, that's what I want you to be. And if you don't, you're stupid. So I guess their relationship it's going to have rough patches, but they're starting to grow from it again. And Adam Eve lost her leg. I really hope she reacts to that very well. Obviously, there's no time now because the whole thing going on with Robot, but when they're sitting at home, will she react to not having a leg? I think that should be a big, strong reaction. And I think the best moment of this issue had to be Invincible seeing his baby girl. I loved it. And why I love it also, because I could see Invincible being this protective father to his daughter, seeing this girl being his little girl. So I love that, and I think that was a really good choice for her to be a girl. I just think it's going to be a lot of fun to see that, because we already saw, you know, his father, and he had a son, so it'd be cool to see what it's like to have a daughter being part of all this madness. And will she have Adam Eve's power? Will she have Invincible's powers also? So it's going to be a really interesting ride to see this daughter grow up in the Invincible universe. Also, we get to see the aftermath of Monster Girl. Her still being alive, but will she be okay by the end? And Robot's like, oh, I didn't really want to kill her, but is she okay? Like, it's so weird, the mind frame of what Robot's thinking. Great artwork. Again, there's so many great emotional beats throughout this whole issue. I loved it. I gotta give it 5 stars, and it just makes me excited for the next issue. That's what comics should do. Make you excited to read that next issue, and Invincible totally did that. I'm stoked to read issue 114. So what beat Invincible? This got 5 stars. This also got 5 stars. What beat it? And this series has been getting pick of the week every time it comes out. Miles Morales, The Ultimate Spider-Man issue 4. My heart was bumping throughout this whole issue. Right when the beginning of this issue, we get to see Kate Bishop crying, not because Miles is Spider-Man, but because of what her parents will do because Miles is Spider-Man. And she's talking to her sister, and I love that moment. My heart's beating like, what the hell are these parents are? Who are these parents? And we don't find out, which I was a little upset. I would have liked to find out who these parents are, but let's hope that the story doesn't go too long and find out who the parents are. But the epicness is seeing Peter and Miles fight together to fight Green Goblin at the same spot Peter died. And is this the real Peter? Now the whole world knows Peter is alive, even Aunt May and Gwen. Is this the real Peter or not? That's the big question that I'm looking forward to really seeing. And Green Goblin was destroyed not destroyed, but ran away after Peter and Miles defeated him. So I just thought it was epic, seeing those two fight together, seeing the Kate Bishop story. What's going to happen when everyone finds out Peter's back? What is Peter's life going to be like? I loved it, this issue, 5 stars. Again, this is the issue where I was on the edge of my seat. So was Invincible, but if I had to rate, this was number 1 because I was just so much on the edge of my seat. But both books are really good. There was a lot of great books this week, but Miles Morales, Ultimate Spider-Man, great artwork too. Love the art style, and I've been loving this book altogether. Now let me show you a good page. Here's a double page. Just great artwork. Can't wait to read the next issue of Miles Morales Ultimate Spider-Man. So that was my pick of the week. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please tell me in the comments below what was your pick of the week, worst pick of the week. What did you think of the comics this week? And of course I'll have Comic Uno episode 60 next week. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and the Rant Situations. And don't forget to like my Facebook page. And I'll see you guys later. It's Comic Uno and Comic Frontline.